Okay, can everybody hear? Sure. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So I'm so excited to have our Leah talking tonight. She just got back from NLC. She went earlier this year, but she really had a takeaway, big breakout year all of 2019, and is really using the momentum going forward in 2020. So a big thing that we see for longevity of coaches is a big burst of energy, quick success in pockets, but
Uh-oh, did she freeze or is it just me?
I think she froze.
I think she froze. Okay, that's all right. Leah is a badass. She's doing great. 2019 was her breakout year. She started for 6 months, got great results, and then decided at the beginning of January 2019, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go all in with coaching and see where it takes me. So I'm going to stop talking, hand it over to Leah, and away we go.
Yay! Okay. Hello, guys. Happy Sunday. Happy new week. I'm going to basically take y'all through certain points that I took away from NLC, but also be combining it with how I've been recruiting and really trying to build my team in between the pockets of being a busy teacher. So you'll see like certain things and topics that I'm going to go through. And if you have questions, please drop them in the chat. I'm going to try to be as slow as possible. Sometimes I get excited and I'm like all over the place and tend to talk really fast. So just let me know what questions you have. Alrighty. The first thing I want to touch base on is be the proof. You know, something I've definitely have learned through my journey is that you have to be the proof of your business and show up daily. And if you're not, then your business won't grow. Like Raquel said, in 2019, I decided to take off full force, meaning I was going to show up every single day, because when I first started coaching, I was kind of just tippy-toeing. I wasn't sure. I didn't have the confidence. And then kept hearing calls like this, and it was getting repetitive to the sense of like, okay, I need to switch it up and just try new things. The key is to get others excited and start them on their journey and get them to become their own proof. Because if you're not doing that, then you can't show others that you're able to do it for yourself and for others. And you want them to have a transformation. Remember that your boot campers could potentially be amazing coaches on your team. And are you inviting them and recognizing that? I was a boot camper before I started coaching. So most of my team, it's the same scenario. They jump in as a challenger, they get the results, and I see that energy and confidence repel in the boot camp. And then that's my opportunity to ask them to join our team as a coach. And at the end of the day, we need to truly be helping people reach their potential by showing them that they can, not just physically, or that you can, but not physically, but emotionally and financially too. Keep it simple. This is my favorite. It was said at NLC, and I'm keeping it all year going forward in the business, not just this year, but every single day. Don't overcomplicate this business. I did for way too long when I first started. Just have fun and be you. Build relationships with people. This is like super important and has been a game changer in my business. You kind of have to think outside the box when it comes to this and think about how you would want to be invited or how you would want someone to build a relationship with you. Like, would you want to get a message weekly from someone asking you to join their team? Like constantly, like an invite, a follow-up again. They're still watching. So kind of switch gears and connect with them in different ways for them to relate to you through your stories, your post, similarities. And also don't drag people. It's super stressful on you. And I also have experienced this, and it's not fun and it's super draining. So try to focus on other people that you can connect with in different ways and build relationships. Like, I can't say that enough. I've had people join me as a coach, but I've built a relationship with them. It just wasn't like, hey, join my team. And it wasn't like a follow-up. Like, yes, we teach y'all and we learn, you know, invite, follow up, but you have to build a relationship in between that for it to work. And I always think of it as like, how would I want to be approached with a business opportunity? Have a plan and be organized, a tracking system. Do you have one? A few of these on here are some that they talked about NLC. So Flow Desk and Workflow, those are kind of new for me. I still need to do my research on them. Right now, I'm using the Rise Up Planner, and I really do love that. But I think I need to switch gears and do something more electronic. It's just with Teacher Life, like I have so many documents and things I look at daily. And right now, just Rise Up Planner works best for me to track everything. And the last week of every month, set an alarm on or a reminder to plan your next month going forward. Like I know that our uplines and Raquel, Jessica, and Laura and Rachel do a phenomenal job of letting their team know certain dates and things like that. But if you have a game plan for that, like on a big calendar, that way you can just be on the same page of what you're going to be sharing week to week and day to day, and makes your life so much more simple. Like just highlight the week. Like, am I talking about challenge groups here? Am I running a 5-day free group here on coaching? And that way the week before you're sharing that information and you don't have to think about it. So many times I hear people say, I am like thinking of what I'm going to say. I don't know what to say on my stories. That will give you the perfect day-to-day, week-to-week plan. Okay, don't be casual. Another quote I took from NLC. So think about how you can give back to your challengers and your coaches. You can't expect them to show up when you're not. Have fun within your groups. If they feel boring to you, then more than likely your challengers are going to feel bored with everything as well. Weekly emails plus recipes along with motivational messages. And I know a lot of us are starting to do that now. It's been amazing. I'm having more people email me back because some people just won't gravitate towards a boot camp or show up in the Challenge Tracker app, or if you're running your Facebook group. So weekly email has been really nice to just know and let them know that you're there. And incentives and recognitions. Challenger of the Week is a great motivator. It gets people excited. You can share it in your stories within your boot camp, get your other coaches to share it. And then how can I give back to my coaches? So the same thing. I just started little push groups within my team of where they're at in their business, so I can really just focus on that group. So for instance, on Voxer, I have an emerald thread and like a push to emerald thread and a push to diamond thread. That way, the information I'm sending to my coaches is separated from what they really need from me going forward for them to push. And then once they hit emerald, then they move into the next pod. So that's been really helpful, I think, for my coaches right now. It's something new I'm trying. And always remember you're a direct reflection of your team. Inspire, motivate, educate, add value. The last two of these points I've been really trying to focus more on how I can educate other people. So showing more of me and adding value with the things I enjoy, like shopping, and asking your audience like what they want to see out of you, and give them ideas. Like, you already know what you like. For me, it's shopping. It's super easy for me to get on my feed and talk about it. So I've been kind of using that as an avenue to connect with other people and build relationships. Level up and 10 times your efforts. Like, if you really want to see momentum in your business kick into gear, everything you're doing now, you got to like times it by 10. I'm reading the 10X rule right now, and it's really good. I highly recommend that if you don't have that on your list or haven't listened to it. This was another takeaway I got from NLC. When you're in the works of building your business, but also have a team of like boot campers, your challengers, and your coaches, like 80% of your time should be building your business and really focusing on that. And then 20% is focusing on your team. Limit and figure out where you're spending your time and where your time needs to go based on your needs of your business. Like, if it's like, I'm not connecting with enough people, I've already ran out of people to invite, then you need to focus on making new connections and going from there. If you don't have coaches and want to build a team, like, are you doing things for this business on your own? Like, for the longest time I was depending on upline coaches. I was using content, which is fine. I still use content that, Team VIP throws in there because it's great and keeps me going on track. Like, but are you trying different ways to do things on your own? like running your own challenge group. If you aren't, make sure you're showing up in your group and use that you're in, and use this for content. Like, and I mean that by, if you're in someone else's boot camp, like your coach's boot camp, and you're putting people in there, make sure you're showing up, but also use that as like credibility in your stories. Because a lot of times we're not sure what to say because we don't have coaches working on our team, and we don't have a team yet, but you do. So if you show up in your boot camp and maybe you just hopped on and went live about a certain topic or whatever, show that in your stories. It creates that credibility to you and your team, but it shows others that you're actually a part of a team, and you can build it from there. Creating content and taking ownership. Okay, recruiting. My favorite, because I feel like it's the most challenging, and I feel like it's a lot of times I just hear like it's the hardest part. If what you're doing right now isn't getting you where you want to be, you have to switch it up and try new things. Every single time I have done this, I've seen growth in myself, whether it's in my business or just self-confidence. Like if I hear something that someone else might try, or I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's going to work. Like I'll go try it and test it out. Or if I see an idea pop up in here from another coach, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Never tried that. Let me give it a shot. Because you kind of have to figure out what works for you and try different things in order for your business to move. So I've been doing 5-day free coach groups. And basically they get access to 5 free sample workouts, and I throw in a 5-day free meal plan, and I run it through the Challenge Tracker app. And I do this because my boot camps are being held in the Challenge Tracker app. I don't do Facebook anymore. But I do the 5-day free coach group in there because they're already getting used to how the Challenge Tracker app works. And these people that I'm plugging in may or may not have Beachbody already or already in my challenge group. And I can share this. It's basically like it's a 5-day thing. And I go in and I talk about different topics and hesitations, but they're seeing my face almost every day, but they also have an action. And an action would be like, get 3 people today and do a challenge within the group and see how it goes. So for instance, a water challenge. And I've had people and then you can really see who's going to be a great coach and take off with it if they start doing the actions within the group. So you're not onboarding coaches and putting all your time and effort into trainings and getting them going. And then it gets to the action side of things and they just don't take off, if that makes sense. So the 5-day group has really helped me see if they're really going to enjoy it or if it's for them. And then we go from there. Video messages through IG. So they can see my excitement. Sometimes I've sent video messages. It's a thing you can do instead of just sending a message through Instagram. You can literally pop on there and say hey, Cindy, just want to say happy Monday. Not sure if you received my last message, but just a reminder, blah, 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 or whatever. But they're seeing your face. I've had people from that tell me oh, I've had a great day. I hope yours is going well. I love your energy, because they can feel it through a video. It's a little, I don't know who I was talking to, was is that not creepy? And I'm well, to me, it's I can actually see the person, because I've never have seen them in person before. So it just, I don't know, something different. If you're not talking about coaching, people will be confused and not responsive when you invite. So sharing about our team calls every Sunday is not enough. Getting off this team call and doing a boomerang and going to bed, and that's just not enough. I want to challenge everyone after this call to, talk about coaching and what it's done for you and what you look forward to and why you're on the calls every Sunday with us. People can see a little more insight on why you do this other than it's just a team call. There's so many MLMs and stuff out there that do team calls, but let them know what you're learning and why you're coaching. Okay, guiding new coaches. So I started a 2-week simple training. We have Biz Academy, and I love that. And I share that after the 2-week training with my newer coaches. And I basically walk them through the onboarding system, keep it super simple with the 2 weeks. And by the end of the 2 weeks, they've already created a link tree. They know how to create a Google form. They've done their coach announcement posts, like all those vital behaviors to really create a solid foundation before they really kick off with their business. And some of this information I'm about to go over, if you're not familiar with it, you need to be, because it's going to be so helpful going forward. But I do make sure that my new coaches now are familiar with all of this right here. The Success Club system, okay, why we have it, what it does, and why we should be hitting Success Club. Explaining Road to Elite. Like, I remember when I first joined Team VIP, like, it was exciting that we were an elite team, but I really had no clue. It's embarrassing. I really had no clue what an elite coach was. No idea. I was like, this is just so cool. It sounds awesome. Like, we're an elite team. I had no clue what that meant. And this past summer, at the coach summit, like when I was in trainings at my first coach summit, I heard, someone was like, you could totally be premier. But I really didn't know, and it's totally my fault. Like, I didn't know what that was. Like, you hear all these things, but you're not sure. Go to your coach office and learn about them so you can know what they mean and how you can reach these goals. And like team builder, team leader, premier, and elite. Okay, breaking down our compensation program, commission and volume, something I'm truly still learning, but something I'm more confident in because I've been picking it up, asking questions, and learning about it. Training videos in coach office for that. And recognize and reassure. Okay, I'm not gonna go through these, I'm like super quick. I just wanted to put them out there. Like, there's two ways to earn, that's supposed to say income. It's commission and volume, right? So I kind of sat with my coaches and basically gave them a rundown of what you're seeing right now, because a lot of them want about 200, like to be making about 200 to 500 a month. And if that's your goal, you need to sit down and figure out what you actually have to do to make that income. Because if you're just like, oh, I want 500 a month and I'm just like sending invites every day, you need to know what that looks like on this end to make that happen. Okay, so these are just examples of some commission scenarios, and then volume as an Emerald coach. Okay, so, but when we combine like commission and volume, that's where the magic really happens, and that income is producing so much more than just commission. Building a spouse account. Okay. All right. When I first started coaching, Leah, sign up your husband. Husband didn't want to. It took him 6 months to finally see my income come in. And he was like, okay, I get it. If you have a husband that is like sketched out about it, doesn't want to do it, just sit with him and talk to him about the benefits of it, because I missed out on so much money, and I still am, because I waited 6 months to sign him up. But now that I actually have a spouse, like a building spouse account, I'm like at least getting anywhere from $20 to $100 streaming from his account on top of what I already make. And I've seen more, like 150, 200, like it all depends. But once I hit Success Club on my account, I start filling everybody in through my spouse's account to build more volume and income. And my goal right now is to match my income this year as a teacher. So I have been building my week leg. So everything's filtering in my week leg, and that's where my husband's at as well, to be able to produce more volume. And last, I think I'm almost done. Okay, find a work buddy. Okay, we all know that this business is fun when you're working the business with others, and y'all do a great job of like posting when you're doing Zooms and stuff, and we get on and we like work out together and sometimes do a business hour together. But I love working with my team, but having a work buddy is a bonus. So you are able to run ideas by each other, learn from each other, find someone not in your downline that you work with every single day, and you can just like play ideas off of each other and learn from each other and jump on weekly calls. It just gives you extra accountability when you're trying to create momentum in your business. So mine is Jordan. We were paired up. I can't even remember what it was for. It was something y'all did within the team. And ever since then, we've like totally have connected and kept in touch, and we talk, if not every week, every other week. So I'd highly suggest that for you too. And then last but not least, consistency is key. We all have those days. Share about them, because there are people out there that will relate to you. Like, there are days I get off of work and I'm tired, but I share that. Do I want to get on my stories? Not all the time, but I know if I do, someone else out there is going to see that Leah showed up. She had a bad day or a long day and is tired, but she's still going. And that's important. Make sure you're implementing personal development into your daily routine. Like I wasn't. My New Year's resolution for this year, every single day, and I have been. It builds growth and confidence, and you can gather ideas for your posts. So if you're that person that's like, I don't know what to post, I don't know what to post. If you're reading something, that will help you. Or listening to something. I don't read, I listen. And it's not about the amount of circles you fill, it's about the people you fill them with. So always remember that. Like, to me, it's not about numbers. Like if you go to my Instagram and stuff like that, like I don't focus on how many followers I have. I just focus on the people I build relationships with and who I'm bringing on my team and how I'm building my team and how I can relate to the people that I want to work with. So hopefully that wasn't too fast. I hope that was helpful. But if you have any questions, please let me know.
Loved it, Leah. That was so perfect. Efficient, well done, but exactly the points that we needed to hear and a little bit of the tough love that we needed to hear. So I hope that everybody's stories tonight after the call are going to be blowing up with all of the actual, genuine, real part of your coaching business. But we do have time for questions. If anybody wants to put them in the chat, I will read them, or you can unmute yourself and ask. There was a question from the beginning. I don't know if you saw. Lots of people love, 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 love. You're amazing. Where's that first question? I think it was about how do you keep track of sending emails out? Do you create a group in your email and send all at once? Just trying to simplify.
Yes, I keep it simple and export the list through the coach office. So if you don't know how to do that, if you go into subscription orders, there's an export list right there. You can narrow it down to coaches, customers, active, subscriptions, all the things. And I literally just copy that and put it in my email.
And then can you share a little bit more about why you kind of left Facebook behind and went to the Tracker app?
I got to the point where for me, like Facebook just felt like it was forceful. Like I was kind of getting with it and I didn't really have engagement in it. And I one day just did a poll and asked for feedback, and everyone, like most of the challengers that responded, liked the idea of an app because Facebook to them gets lost with all the other notifications and groups that they're a part of. And since I've switched over to the app, I've had a ton more engagement just in my challengers and people showing up. But that's just, it's worked for me so far.
Perfect. And then do you lead with the coaching invite or challenger invite?
What do you mean? Lead with coaching?
Like, do you invite to coaching directly or do you invite to challenge groups when you're inviting during your work time?
I do both. Like challenge group versus, or like, I don't know if I understand that question.
Like, when you're inviting, are you inviting to the coach opportunity or are you inviting to join a challenge group?
I do both, but more so I've been trying to focus more on coaching just because I want, to have working coaches.
So you would say that you split it half and half, or you would say 80-20?
I still feel like for me, like sometimes challenge invites are easier, but it's because they're easier to share about. So I've been trying to switch the gears up in my stories, just trying to focus more on talking about coaching. That way, all of my viewers, I can invite to coaching, if that makes sense. So I've been really trying to focus more on sharing.
It feels, sharing more about coaching, because when you're going back through your story viewers or you're going back through your post content, you have to kind of invite off of what you've been speaking about. And so the more and more that you're talking about coaching, the easier it is to invite from it. But also I think that we tend to lean back on that challenger invite just because from mindset, we believe that is going to be an easier yes, which isn't always the case. I've had people who signed up as a client who said, man, I wish I would have signed up as a coach from the beginning. I never knew. Right. And not to say that you can't invite them to coaching and they can back up and end up as a client because they're not ready to be a coach. But I think we just tell ourselves it's an easier yes to get a client or invite to a challenge group or a boot camp or whatever you're calling it, But that's just because that's our habit. That's our go-to. But if we flip that script and our habit is to talk more about the coaching opportunity, to invite more to the coaching opportunity, it becomes easier and easier and easier. It's just a muscle. Once you work it, it gets stronger.
And it is easier. Like the more, like sometimes I'm like, let me get on and talk about it. But I'm like, I'm not really sure what I'm going to talk about, and it just comes out. But you're right. Like the more you do share, the more it gets easier on sharing about it.
For sure. And in the chat too, Raquel put, I found those who sign up as coaches are more committed to the challenge group and get better results. 100%. I mean, and I think that all of us on this call would agree that we are much more committed to our own personal health and fitness journeys because we are a coach and we do put ourselves out there on social media, and that is our job, is to be committed to our own health and fitness. So that's huge. You know, I don't think we talk about that enough on social media. Is all your clients who maybe are struggling to stay committed, or they do good and then they fade out. This is a great opportunity for them to stick with it, because once you put it on the World Wide Web, it's a lot harder to skip.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions for Leah before we close out this call?
Really in-depth talk about NLC. So if y'all have any questions about NLC too, yeah. Y'all need to be there next year.
100%. Yes. And it's something that we're so early in the year. Whatever goal you have that you set in January, or maybe you haven't set them yet, that's okay too. Whatever it is that you've got on your mind this year that you want on your heart to accomplish in your business, you have all the time in the world to get it done. But the big thing that I saw with Leah over the end of last year, and I see her still pushing towards, is that she didn't just hit a goal and stop. And that's the most common thing. You hit diamond, you unravel. You hit a certain goal that you were pushing for, and then you let off the gas pedal, and I promise you, your business will unravel so much faster than it took for you to put it together. You've got to stay consistent. And I'm speaking to myself here too. Definitely not saying that I am the queen of it, because I'm totally not. But if you want to take your business to the next level, whatever level that is, you have got to be consistent and showing up and trying new things. And I think the one thing that I've seen from Leah that I really, really love is she does do things on her own. She just takes it and just starts doing it. Who cares if it's wrong? Who cares? She takes a little bit of from what she learned from Team VIP. She takes a little bit from what she learns in another group that she's in. She takes a little bit from just trying something different. But just the same way as you're stronger in your health and fitness journey when you become a coach, you are stronger in your business when you become the leader. And that is just a fact, because you then get to try things out. You then get to see what works. You get to put your style, your flair, and whether you bomb or you don't, you'll figure it out. But if you just sit back and you kind of just hope that your upline is going to take care of it, you're not committed. The same thing like Leah was talking about her being on Facebook. She's just not invested. She's listening to all these notifications. If that's how you feel, like you feel like your upline is constantly providing you content and motivation and things to do for your team, and it's just kind of white noise, that means it's time for you to step out and just lead in your own way, because that will get you excited. It'll fire you up. It'll force you to be creative. And I promise you'll see business growth out of it. Okay, anything else before we bounce out? Feel good, excited? Okay. Then let's go to Rachel for our shout outs.
Right. Can y'all hear me? Do I unmute myself?
You're good. Yeah. Hope you're feeling better, my flu friend.
Thanks. I am. I'm coming back. I'm back to life. Back to my normal routine tomorrow. Okay. So Success Club, having locked in Success Club 10 already for the month is Laura Simon and Jessica Warren at 16, and Success Club 5. Myself and Leah and Kathleen are at 8 points, and Genevieve, Shauna, and Abby also locking in Success Club 5 with 6 points. Just one more person away from locking in Success Club 5 is Allison, Jennifer, Robert, Hannah, Shara, Valeria, Jackie, Leanne, Paige, Taylor, Sarah, Leslie, Merlin. Oh, sorry. All right. Paige was the last one at 4. And then just need to help at least 2 more people to lock in Success Club. We have the last day of the month is on Saturday. Is Taylor, Sarah, Leslie, Merlin, Jennifer, Rochelle, Kelly, Yvonne, Amanda, Cassidy, Jennifer, Laura, Daniela, Jordan, Grayson, and Carissa. We have so many people on the board. That's so awesome. Okay, and then team cup points. Oops, I did that the wrong way. Leading our team is Team Fiddish with 24 points, Slay to Win and Dynamic Divas with 22 points, Nacho Average Squad with 20, Team Joy Dynasty at 18, along with Team AIM, Team Sunshine at 16, and Boss Babes at 15. So Team Cup ends on Saturday, just like Success Club does, and you get points for Success Club points per coach. You get 2 points for each coach that's registered for Summit that's on your team. And there's one more. Oh, rank advancement. Rank advancement. You get points for rank advancement too. All right. That's all I got.
Okay, perfect. Then those of you who got your call link for the GSD call for filling out your actions and outcomes tracker, we will hop over to that right this very minute. Everyone else, have a wonderful day. See y'all on the social. Bye.